Hey, everybody, it is February 2025, and it's Sit Back and Chill Out Saturday, where I get to sit down and discuss some issues and questions that you have over the last few weeks, especially a free software called PhotoSketcher. And man, did I get a lot of emails and comments regarding this. And Mac users, hang in there. I got some information for you. Are we ready for this? Let's do it. Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you are new to this channel, this is dedicated to photography and as a photo artist, trying to push ourselves creatively to think out of the box. Once a month, I do something called Saturday Chill Back and Sit Down and Relax a little bit, grab your favorite beverage. I'm just drinking some water. And it's my time to sit back and reflect on the last few weeks about some of the issues and questions that I'm getting and from people asking me on my private email address and also comments on the YouTube channel. So a couple of major things we're going to talk about. Number one, it was about 3 weeks ago as of this recording, a good photographer friend of mine that I've known for about 15 years, but I haven't, usually we go out and have lunch or do something once in a while, and it's been a couple of years since I've actually seen him. And he calls me up out of the blue, and this has to do with Lightroom now. So the issue, or I can't say an issue, but the question he said to me, he says, I'd like to get your opinion. Should I upgrade to Lightroom? And I'm thinking, well, you're always upgraded in Lightroom because, the subscription base, you're always getting these updates. He goes, no. He goes, I'm using Lightroom 5. And that is this is before the cloud version. That was the last version before the cloud. In fact, I had to look it up. It came out in June of 2013. So this year, June of 2025, that's going to be 12 years old. So he said, should I upgrade and get the cloud version? And if you've been following me for a while, you know that I stay very neutral on things because what's right for one person doesn't mean it's right for everybody else. So I had to dig deeper and say, okay, here's what I'm going to ask you. Based on the photography that you do, are you getting the results you want from Lightroom? And he said, well, yeah. And I said, well, I think you just answered your question. I'm not telling you should upgrade to the cloud version or not, but if you're happy with what you got, why dive in there? Now, I did throw this out. Sign up for the cloud version on a monthly basis. Try it out for a month. You don't see any difference that you're going to use stuff that you're paying for, cancel it. But again, my theory behind a lot of stuff is, and you guys know my feeling about this, I show you a lot of techniques and things I've learned over the years, but about 90% of what I'm sharing with you when it comes to philosophies about photography as a photo artist, equipment, all this other stuff, 90% of that comes from my mentors over the years. About 10% is me, sprinkling in my ideas and stuff. What I want to emphasize is that on my channel, every time I show a technique in Photoshop, or we're looking at free plugins or plugins you pay for or hardware equipment, whatever it is, it doesn't mean it's right for everybody. It's just exposing you and lets you cherry pick what's important to you. Okay, so again, remember, what's right for one person doesn't mean it's right for other people. And this will make more sense because I got a ton of comments about a certain software. And but anyhow, so should you upgrade to Lightroom? I can't answer that. If it's giving you what you want, I think you just answered your question. So my friend is just staying with the version that he has because it delivers what he wants. There's no reason for him to try the cloud version at all. Okay, so now let's get here to the next issue. And that is PhotoSketcher. And I had a lot of questions, and it's hard for me in emails or comments to explain how to do things because it's more visual and it's better for me to talk about it and demo it for you. So if you're fairly new and you don't know what we're talking about PhotoSketcher, it's a free software. And by the way, Mac people, hang in there. I got something for you regarding this, but go to the website. It is photosketcher.com. You'll see the name right here. Photo, and the word Sketcher, all one word, .com. And one of the questions I had was people had some confusion about how do I download this? I'm getting all these like wrong things. And that's because of the interface. There's so many things going on here. So come to the website, and here's what you do. You go to download over here in the far right. Ignore all the stuff you see on the screen. And when you click on download, this will load up, and you're fighting for this. Now, sometimes something else is going to pop up, some type of advertisement or something. Just close it out, and you're looking for something like this, Windows Sketcher for Windows. Again, Mac people, hang in there. I'll talk about you in a minute. But then click on this, and in my browser, now see what happened right here? How that sort of popped up? Ignore that. I'm closing out of this. Okay, see what happened here? Now I finally get my download over here in the upper right-hand corner. So I will just choose Save As or Open and install the software. Based on your security, you might get a warning because it's an exe file, on Microsoft. Hey, you sure you trust this type of thing? Just say yes. I found out that from comments, a lot of people have been using this software for years. This is nothing new. It's been around for quite a while. I think it's a blast using it. And so it's something you should take a look at. But this is the answer to people that were, I'm getting all this nonsense and stuff coming up, and, I'm not getting the right download, I guess, whatever. So hopefully this helps you, because I can't cover that in a comment or email right there. So that's one thing. The other thing is to make this program work better. I recommended that you take the image that you're using and drop the resolution to 100. And a lot of people got confused. Probably it was my fault the way I explained it. So I'm going to demo what I mean about that. So let me jump over here to Photoshop. And an example, when you open up an image, before I would say use it in Photo Sketcher, if you just go to the image drop-down menu here and choose image size. Now, when this opens up, by default, most of you people will have, I'm going to go to, let's say, inches. Okay, so this one, if we look at it, is around 25 inches, as a width, 16, almost 17 inches as a height, and the resolution is 240. In my opinion, the resolution is too high to put it through Photo Sketcher. It will still work, but it'll take a while and, to render out, and it just works better if you change the resolution. I'm just going to make that 100 right here. So make sure this is activated, resample, and I'm going to highlight that and do 100. Now, it doesn't change my physical size. It's still 25 inches by, say, 16 and a half or so. And if that's the size, physical size you want, because maybe you are going to print this large or whatever, I would leave that alone. But if you're going, no, I'm just going to use this on social media. Well, a lot of people on social media, I'm going to go change this now to pixels, like to use 1200 or 1500. It's totally up to you to use on the longest edge of your image. So in this example, the longest edge is the width. So I would consider going in there and say, okay, let's make this 1500, which adjusts your height. So now the image is a little bit smaller. It's good for social media type of thing. And again, your resolution is maintained at 100. If you click on OK to accept that, and let's make this a little bit bigger. If I go back to image dropdown again and look at image size, when the dialog box opens up, you can see, hey, look at that, 15 by 1,000, 100. If you go back to inches over here, it's equivalent to like a 15 by 10. So I would just highly recommend that you'll get faster and easier and better results if you reduce that down and save the image out at that size and then use it in Photo Sketcher. So hopefully that explains a couple of the questions I had with people that didn't understand about resolution, in using it with the software. Okay, so let's talk about that, and let's talk about the Mac users out there. And look in the comment section. I forgot who did it, but I had to write this down for Mac users. They actually messaged the developer of Photo Sketcher. And again, I'll have the link to Photo Sketcher in the show notes if you missed that video. So that'll be in the show notes again, so you can watch that video regarding it. But he messaged the developer, and the developer recommended he download some type of app called Whiskey, app for a Mac. I've never heard of that before. I don't know nothing about it, so please don't ask me, but ask the person in the comment section that did this, and he said this software runs great on his Mac laptop. So there you go. If you need a jump start, you're using a Mac, because you know me, I try to find things that support it on both platforms. I think it's really important. And a lot of people are making suggestions to me, private emails. Hey, did you ever hear of this software? Or could you take a look at this software or plugin or free utility? And what are your thoughts on it? That kind of thing. Well, my first reaction when I look at this stuff is it good for both Windows and Mac? It sort of bothers me if it's only, Windows, because it's important, me being a Mac person years ago, no longer. I'm using Windows for reasons we're not going to get into, but I love Macs. I don't want to be negative, but Apple didn't offer what I wanted, and I just changed platforms. That's all. And but I think it's important that we do support both platforms. So I'm glad that there's a way you can run this, even though I heard he's still developing a standalone Mac version. It's just not ready yet. Okay, next thing. I tried, and I've heard this from other YouTubers, when your channel starts to get big, and my channel's not that big. I'm just knocking on the door to 3,000 subscribers, even though this one video had over 10,000 views. But again, that doesn't mean anything. It's the subscribers and comments being made. And a lot of times you'll get some negative stuff and people start getting into arguments. And I don't want any of that stuff. This is the kind of platform that I want, and that is exposing different techniques and ideas for you people when it comes to photography and as a photo artist, versus if it's software or equipment or just philosophy about business and that kind of stuff. And I want to keep it very upbeat. Anything I recommend and suggest isn't right for everybody. And so I'm going to paraphrase a couple comments here, and I had to nip a couple of people because I can see this going down a rabbit hole and getting into an argument, which I don't want to happen here. And so somebody had made a comment, which this comment does not bother me. I understand where they're coming from, but somebody says, hey, try to pick up a paintbrush instead of using software. Okay, I get it. How about actually painting, and you won't have to need software? Okay, I get it. That doesn't bother me. What bothered me was a couple of hard-nosed comments as I came back, and I go, no, we're not going there, so I had to delete that. And one person had made a comment, well, why don't you walk instead of driving your car? And then somebody says, well, why don't you shoot film and develop it in your own darkroom and get in larger and do your own prints that way instead of shooting digital? And that was sort of a dig at the comment that a couple of people made about, using a paintbrush and stuff like that. And I don't need that kind of stuff, nonsense going on. So the people that made the comment about grabbing a paintbrush, that's fine. Okay, it's the reaction from that I was concerned about. But I want to talk about painting with a brush. Bless you people, and it's not that big, but that can actually digitally paint or grab a paintbrush and paint. I don't have that talent and ability. And I tried Corel Painter years ago, and it's an incredible program. I did the trial version, and I never bought it because I'm not a painter, and I was having all sorts of trouble. But if you're a person who has a great background in actual painting, you know techniques and stuff, and you have that God-given ability to do stuff. I don't. And so I think that, Photo Sketcher is just something fun to dive into. It's quick and easy to learn. I can play with that and have fun, right? But start with a blank canvas and grab a paintbrush and start going at it. And it's not going to happen. We got better luck of giving that to an elephant, because I've seen videos on that where the elephant is painting, on canvas, or a chimpanzee or something, doing artwork and that, and then they sell it or something like that. But again, I have no ability on doing stuff with a brush. But I'm going to show you a technique in the future that you might be interested, that I think most people can catch up with by using some brush techniques, by using Photoshop. All right, let me see if I think that is about it. Yeah, so if you can do me a favor, if you're fairly new to the channel, and that is to help push this out to other people, please like the video, subscribe if you have not subscribed, hit the notification bell. Next time I get a video uploaded, you'll get notified regarding that. And I do a video every week in advance, so it comes out on Wednesday morning Eastern time in the U.S. over here. And then once a month, I do this, hey, Saturday, sit back and chill. I like to address some comments and issues and then maybe clarify some things that people have brought up in comments and private emails. All right, people, with that out of the way, let's get that camera out. Think creatively out of the box. Until next time, see ya.